No, but we need to talk about this more. A lot of us are ending up with men who actually hate us. And I know we're all in this I hate men campaign right now, but I think it's because a lot of times we're choosing the men who don't actually like us.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a video for you here today from Cosmic Verse titled Modern Women Realize That Feminism is a Scam. Just by the way, guys, I love how, women only come to this conclusion once they realize that feminism isn't benefiting them. They'll hit like 40 years of age, they'll be sick of their career. Now they'll want a man to look after them, and then they will start to renounce feminism. It's always hilarious to me. Let's jump into the video.
Do you consider yourself a feminist?
Yes, in the way of like making sure women have equal rights.
So you consider yourself a feminist, but in your pre-show notes, you said that you appreciate traditional values. How do you reconcile being a feminist, but also holding men to their traditional gender roles?
Not every woman lives the same lifestyle, so I think it's important that they have representation and minimization of sexism, as well as like harassment in the work industry.
Okay, you said minimization of sexism.
What she's saying are just meaningless buzzwords that have no concrete definition at all. Terms like that are just used to describe anything that hurts her feelings and doesn't agree with her absurd worldview.
Don't you think it's a rather sexist position to believe that men should be providers?
I think that's like a traditional thing.
If you have an expectation on men by virtue of their gender to be providers, isn't that sexist?
I would just personally like to have a person that would like to provide for me.
Well, that's traditional gender roles. Again, how do you reconcile being a feminist but wanting traditional treatment from men? Throughout the entire course of the relationship, you want a guy to provide for you. You want traditional treatment, and it sounds like you want him to pay your bills. You want an allowance. You want him to pay for your nails. If you go on trips, you want him to pay for it. If you guys were living together, would you want him to pay the entire rent?
Yeah.
This bonkers ideology makes no sense in a rational mind. She wants all of the benefits of an old school traditional relationship, but she feels like she's entitled to that even though she's not willing to do anything to earn it, mind you.
Feminism isn't about hating men, it's about equality.
No. Since the beginning, feminism has been about hating men. In 1918, an anonymous suffragette authored a piece called Advice on Marriage to Young Ladies. Do not marry at all. Avoid these type of men. Don't expect too much. Men are trash. All single men suck. Feed the brute. It's a great way to refer to men. And then it compares men to dogs. The conclusion says don't get married at all. For those who are saying feminism is not anti-man or anti-marriage, literally it's been that from the beginning.
You can't have equality if you have to endlessly insult, belittle, and mock the other side and then feel like you're being personally attacked when the other side speaks up. That is not equality, that's just domination.
Feminism is a powerful hate movement that has convinced its members that men are domineering beings who want to control women. They have dehumanized men, made them the enemy, called their masculinity toxic, and used them as scapegoats for everything wrong in society.
It really is a hateful way of thinking. When you listen to a modern woman who uses that kind of rhetoric, she's doing it to hurt other people and she finds joy in that. That seems like a terrible way to live a life, in my opinion.
We told men to step back, sit down, and be quiet. And now we wonder where all the good men went. Newsflash, they did exactly what a whole lot of women and angry feminists asked them to do. We confused toxic masculinity with masculinity itself. And now good men are standing down, afraid to lead, simply because they prefer to keep their peace. You think I'm exaggerating? Read the comments.
Men can tolerate a lot of adversity. It's how we survived for as long as we have, but there does come a point when something becomes a lost cause, and the best thing to do is walk away. And that's exactly what men did with modern women.
Being single is so ghetto sometimes because, like, I would love to make my boyfriend an Easter basket. Like, I live and die for this shit. I love the holidays, and I would just love to spoil my boyfriend with, like, the cutest Easter basket filled with, like, all of his favorite things, maybe some Knicks tickets, maybe some clothes, like candy. Ugh. But that's okay. Maybe one day.
If she was genuine with what she was saying, she would already be with a good man. There are plenty of good men out there who would appreciate that kind of treatment, but none of them will ever count for stupid reasons.
Feminism is rooting women. Women are now saying, I don't need a man. But when they're back in touch with her feminine energy, They can't deny they do need love, because that's a fact. We all need to feel cared for and loved. And as good as it sounds to know how to love yourself and give everything to yourself and not need anyone else to do that for you, being single should be a healing strategy instead of a self-defense mechanism.
It's funny how modern women say that they love themselves and love their lives, but feminism reinforces the polar opposite of love. You can't love anyone when you have that much hate in your heart, in my opinion.
Men don't care about how much money you make. They're not looking for women to make all this money to be attracted to them. But let's be honest, ladies, we can even be feeling a guy, but when we find out he's making $45,000 average salary, them drawers dry up.
And I see it in the OnlyFans workers, but I also see it in the career women, the older career women that were told to chase a career over a man. And, now they're coming out with articles that say these sassy, sophisticated, solvent women say they are struggling to find other halves that measure up.
That headline pretty much explains why these women are single. Men aren't interested in sassy, sophisticated, and solvent women. All a man sees with that headline is a whole bunch of stress and chaos that is just totally not worth it.
So we got 46-year-old Lucy, 52-year-old Leslie, Julia, 54, Laura, 42, and Jane, 48. Do you see the language? They're struggling to find other halves that can measure up. It's so crazy that women live to half a century without any humility. Let's look at the Twitter comments. Let's see if they're very sympathetic. There are men that would take these women. They just have to lower their standards. Men Worth Discipline says they moved on about 20 to 30 years ago. None of them look like they're young enough to bear children, so they get the leftovers. Their time has passed.
That's a pretty accurate description for these women. They had their chance to get a good man in their lives, but they threw it away for a career that has left them unfulfilled. Now it's too late for them, and they just destroyed themselves.
And it's so crazy because even male athletes kind of know when their time's passed. But women like that, they blame men for a lifetime. Instead of saying, you know what, I pissed away my youth. I made very poor decisions. I wasn't good enough for a husband. And this is what you can learn. Instead, they just point the fingers and say the men don't measure up.
If a woman is still single at 52 years of age, then odds are you can tell that she is incapable of taking any form of accountability, especially when they blame the men for not being interested.
Men be so pressed when you tell them that you're not dating. They'd be like, somebody must be hitting it. No, I'm just not dating. I just don't like men at the moment. I don't want to date them. I think they're stupid and dumb. Call me a man hater. I don't give a fuck. Call me a bitch because I am one bitch you cannot have. No. And I wake up every day questioning why I am not a lesbian. It actually pains me because you men are nails. Nails on a fucking chalkboard. I hate it. I hate everything about y'all. Shut up.
It's never a smart idea to go online and post a public video proudly saying that men are evil. When she gets older and desperately wants a man, there will be none to be found because a man isn't going to waste his time with a woman who hates him for being born.
And women being able to be women. Our sons being able to be sons, and our daughters being able to be daughters. Without the outside world trying to tell them that they are not what they were born to be. The absolute selfishness of liberal women getting on this app, talking about their rights being taken away. When the rights they're talking about is the right to pull their baby out of their body and murder it. Women out here dream of having a baby.
If you ask a feminist what rights are being taken away from her, she will more often than not talk about bank accounts, credit cards, and property ownership, all of which women have been able to get for a long time now.
Dream of having a family, and you're just ripping it out of you. And then crying because somebody wants to put a restriction on it. All feminism is selfishness. Feminism, if I gotta be the first to say it, I'll say it. Up with the patriarchy. I stand with men.
All feminism has really done is just allow modern women to shoot themselves in the foot. It completely ruins their chances of being able to live a life of possible contentment, but they call it empowerment.
We're all the normal people. In my case, I mean like normal guys to date. I feel like I'm just normal. I don't do anything crazy. I'm just like a good person. I like to do fun things. I'm kind. Sure, I have a TikTok or whatever, but like in general, I'm pretty normal. I feel like all my friends growing up were really normal. It's like, where are the normal people? I just want like a normal guy. But everyone seems to have some sort of mega red flag or some like just strange trait that is a turn off to me. I don't know. Like, maybe I am too picky. I don't think I am. It's like, where are they? Like, where are you guys?
She just told on herself. She said that the men that she dates had a strange trait that was a turnoff. If she's that discriminating towards men, then she's far from a normal woman, and the normal guys know that.
And I think what we've done as a society is that in women trying so hard to be men and saying, right, I can do it all and all at the same time, and I can be a man, I can outman the men, is basically what they said. Instead of saying, I can be a powerful woman, there's an organization called Big Ocean Women that gave me this t-shirt that says Maternal Feminism.
That's another aspect of feminism that makes no sense. These women try so hard to become masculine, and they desire a man who's more masculine than they are, which just proves that they can't outman an actual man.
It basically means that as women, we have power being women. We can be powerful. We can even have careers and be mothers, but we can't do it all at the same time and do it well. But that defies what the feminist movement said, which is you can, just give birth to babies, hand them over to somebody in daycare or to somebody else, and go out into the world and be better than the men, outmen the men. Instead of saying to women, mothering is a powerful thing.
Considering that one of the cornerstones of feminism is having the quote-unquote right to terminate a pregnancy, being a mother goes against the very ideology that modern women buy into with feminism.
You can also have careers. Just make sure that you don't try to do it all at the same time.
You're completely right. There's so much strength to being a woman. There's forever going to be things which women excel at where men cannot, and vice versa, right? And I think just because of our biology being different, when women have this mindset of trying to outman men, you're destined to lose.
What's funny is how when men try to point out that there are legitimate biological differences between men and women, it is met with furious denial, as if their feelings are more powerful than just, regular logic.
Hey, this is for my single men, or just any of you that want to comment and answer. But if you were to see me out, and you thought I was cute, would you approach me, or you would be like, nah? The reason I ask is, like, I've had a lot of guys that I've approached, and they're like, I would never approach you. And I'm like, why? It just makes me feel like, how many am I missing? But for real, would you? And if not, why?
Men have made it no secret as to why they're not approaching women anymore. We've been saying it for years. She doesn't actually want to know the truth. She just wants some sympathy.
You're talking to a girl and she gets flirted with, and then later she kind of jokes with you and she's like, are you jealous?
I think if a guy hears that, that should be his first clue to run in the opposite direction.
And you say no?
Wrong answer! But is it really?
As a girl, we just want some slight confirmation, okay? It doesn't have to be anything too crazy or over the top.
Keyword there, girl. It seems some girls want guys that are basically insecure, while most women prefer men that are confident.
If a woman is seeing a guy and she allows herself to be flirted with by other men to try and make the original guy jealous, then she's already made it clear that she's not worth any of his time. But anyway, guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you subscribe if you are new here. Take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.